Thanks, dear viewers, for joining us on this edition of the news on EQUINOXE Television, live from our headquarters in Cameroon's economic capital, Douala. I am Babla Jonathan. Central African heads of states are arriving in Cameroon's political capital, Yaoundé, ahead of tomorrow's extraordinary summit of heads of states of the Central African Economic and Monetary Community, CEMAC zone, convened by the President of the Republic, Paul Biya, current President of CEMAC. And we'll also talk about a cholera epidemic in the Bakassi Peninsula in the southwest region of the Republic of Cameroon. Several persons are reported dead. Central African heads of states are arriving in Cameroon's political capital, Yaoundé, and there are already 3 African heads of states who have arrived in the nation's political capital ahead of tomorrow's meeting, tomorrow's extraordinary summit convened by the President of the Republic, who doubles as President of the Central African Economic and Monetary Community, CEMAC, and the extraordinary summit of Central African heads of states will be taking place tomorrow in Yaoundé. Idriss Déby Itno, President of the Republic of Chad, was the first to arrive, followed by another African head of state, Faustin Archange Touadéra, President of the Central African Republic, as Idriss Déby Itno and the other personalities arriving. They were all received by the Prime Minister of the Republic of Cameroon, Chief Dr. Joseph Dion Agouté, and just a few minutes ago, the President of the Republic of Congo, Denis Sassou Nguesso, arrived at the Yaoundé Simaleng International Airport, and the President of President of Gabon, Ali Bongo, will be represented by the Prime Minister of that country, Julien Koge, who is already in the nation's political capital, Yaoundé, with the other heads of states who arrived earlier today. We are seeing in those images there Faustin Archange Touadéra, President of the Central African Republic, who arrived in a plane of the Cameroon Airlines Corporation, Cameco, and of course Idriss Déby Itno is already there, and Denis Sassou Nguesso of Congo. They are already in Yaoundé, and they're going to be offered a state dinner today, this evening, by the presidential couple, President Paul Biya and First Lady Chantal Biya. And I told you in the headlines that a cholera epidemic has hit the locality of Bakassi in the southwest region of the Republic of Cameroon. Several persons are reported dead. Official sources talk of 2 persons dead and several tens of others, other suspected cases. And of course, our reporter Derek Jato was in the Bakassi Peninsula, notably in Idabato, and this is his report.
A confirmed case of cholera outbreak in Idabato, an island subdivision in the Bakassi Peninsula, has triggered this reaction from the Southwest Regional Delegation of Public Health. The team is sailing to the affected area, and with them, medication.
The Southwest Regional Delegate of Public Health and a team of health personnel are here. This seems to be the expected response these people of Bakassi have been waiting for. But is this intervention going to be enough?
The medical team is aware that the epidemic is claiming lives already.
Yesterday was 4, today was 2.
So how many people they don't die?
They plenty enough, they cannot count again.
But they Idabato?
Yes.
Dr. Ebongo Zacchaeus Nanje, Southwest Regional Delegate of Public Health, and his team are now on the field and seeing the cholera outbreak, launched the battle against the epidemic from many fronts.
There's another unit for hygiene and sanitation, which is WASH. We try to desanitize the place, and then there will be 1 unit for health promotion. So the 4 units will be working simultaneously to make sure that we actively search for cases.
But the field contact tracing is revealing another disturbing fact. The number of suspected cases are increasing.
This one, the shit, the vomit. This is a suspect. at least one person.
We have gotten up to 21 suspected cases.
The lives of plus 50,000 people, including children, are in danger in this Njan division of the southwest region of Cameroon, and those living the story say the situation is desperate. People are dying on a daily basis.
Over here, just behind me, we have been made to understand that the first suspect died.
About 40 people don't die because of this sickness. Especially the bombing, they shoot. I don't know what is going on in this town.
The campaign was a marathon one as a strategy to step ahead of the cholera epidemic, which is already living in the community.
So what we did is to tell the people to look for anybody who has diarrhea and then send to the health facilities. And they should know that cholera can be treated if the patient gets to the hospital early enough.
The medical team at the end of the day revealed that the situation is serious. Thus, work has just started, and whatsoever step that must be taken now.
This is very urgent for one to see, and it is very pertinent for me to mention here that anyone who is of goodwill and want to help, contact us at the regional delegation.
And the coming of the dry season too is giving the cholera outbreak an edge. The Idabatu population is crying for rescue.
And the cholera epidemic is coming to add to the already difficult living conditions of the people of Idabatu in the Bakassi Peninsula in the southwest region of the country, who are badly affected, of course, by underdevelopment challenges and notably issues connected to the deepening Anglophone crisis, like the rest of the two Anglophone regions of the country, where the socio-political and security atmosphere has been unstable and uncertain since the crisis broke out in 2016 and has been deepening for close to 3 years now, and the government of the Republic of Cameroon has been struggling to restore peace and normalcy in those two regions to no avail. And now the Prime Minister, Chief Dr. Joseph Janguti, has initiated a peace caravan, has sent peace crusaders to those two regions who are moving from one part of the regions to the other, canvassing for peace and, of course, explaining and sensitizing the people on the recommendations of the major national dialogue, which was convened by the President of the Republic with the aim of finding a way out of the Anglophone crisis. But in the town of Kumba, chief town of the Meme division in the southwest region of the country, some inhabitants have said that the peace crusade of the Prime Minister, Chief Dr. Joseph Janguti, is not the right action to be taken at this moment, because it's not going to produce the expected results according to them. Smanjikan Gebre.
Almost 1 month after the farewell ceremony to refugees of the Central African Republic who lived in the East region, the security
The chief town
Almost
of Meme
1 month
division,
after the farewell
Kumba,
ceremony to refugees of the Central African Republic who lived in the East region, the security atmosphere in the region remains under control. Formerly, other minor security threats of petty robbery attacks, pickpocketing amongst others, notably at this period of the year when end-of-year festivities.
We're sorry for that little mix-up there. We're talking about the peace caravan in the town of Kumba in Meme division, southwest region of the Republic of Cameroon, and the peace crusaders of Chief Dr. Joseph Janguti went into the town to sensitize the people on the recommendations of the major national dialogue, and of course the importance and their role in efforts to return to peace and normalcy in the town of Kumba and the rest of the Anglophone parts of the Republic of Cameroon. But some inhabitants of the town said that the peace move initiated by Chief Dr. Joseph Janguti is not the right action to be taken at this point in time, because the thing is not going to yield the expected results. They are calling on government to take concrete actions and corresponding actions that will restore peace and normalcy in the northwest and southwest regions. I will be coming back to that report in a short while. Time for us to talk about insecurity in the town of Betwa. Insecurity has been on the rise, and in that part of the town, while security officials and of course forces of law and other and administrative authority battle to fight the phenomenon of attacks on individuals in the day and in the night. We have details with Hermin Iluga.
Almost 1 month after the farewell ceremony to refugees of the Central African Republic who lived in the East region, the security atmosphere in the region remains under control. Formerly, other minor security threats of petty robbery attacks, pickpocketing amongst others, notably at this period of the year when end-of-year festivities are approaching, the forces of law and other and local administrators are optimistic.
Après une évaluation qui s'est étendue qui s'est étalée sur plusieurs mois.
The governor says the state of security has been stabilized. Remarks he says have been made in course of an evaluatory meeting. Grégoire Vongo, governor of the region, alongside other close collaborators to this effect, had an evaluatory meeting in a bid to make an appraisal of projects which were tackled this start of the year. Projects such as the road construction along the Betwa-Batori stretch, among other projects sidelined by the Betwa City Council. And though a few projects are yet to be completed, all is set to be on a good footing. The governor further applauds the progress of projects on the field while mentioning the fact that it has thus far attracted investors into the region. Meantime, the East region is facing enormous challenges in terms of electricity supply as locals observe electricity cuts on a daily basis, which turns to affect business operations among other daily activities.
And forces of law and other also fighting to turn down rising insecurity in the Mbanga. It is, of course, in the Mongo Division, littoral region of the country. Some suspected bandits have been arrested. Details with Immaculate Fogwe.
A gang of 3 suspected armed bandits operating in the town of Banga in the Mongo Division of the littoral region of Cameroon have been apprehended by the forces of law and order in the area. The said bandits, according to the victim, broke into the store which is specialized in the sale of cosmetic and synthetic hair. My wife went to the market to purchase goods worth 600,000 francs CFA for our shop.
Hello, papi, for me.
Store after destroying the walls. So when my wife arrived to the shop the next morning, she noticed what had happened and immediately called my phone to explain the situation. I immediately went to a nearby police station to explain what had happened. Few days later, I was called up by the forces of law and order that the bandits have been caught.
They don't hold down people.
In the meantime, not all of the items stolen have been recovered, but the fate of the bandits will be known after judgment is passed in court.
And the peace crusade launched by Prime Minister Chief Dr. Joseph John Gut in the 2 Anglophone regions of Cameroon is gradually gaining steam. In the northwest region of the country, the peace crusaders have gone on the ground, sensitizing the population and notably the opinion leaders on the importance to work for the return to peace and normalcy in those 2 regions. Details with Fomi Armstrong Sander.
In the northwest region of Cameroon, the echoes of the major national dialogue sensitization caravan have only been heard in the Mezam and Donga Mantung divisions, close to a week after members received the go-ahead. In the Mezam division at Chieftown Bamenda, members have brought together local stakeholders and community leaders to brainstorm on ways to get the message across. They suggest to meet with groups of different communities in the northwest region, resident within Mezam, to transfer the message across. Others say Mezam as a cosmopolitan division should consider using young artists to galvanize young people on the necessity for peace. members of the Mezam caravan under the leadership of Dr. Fuangwafu urge colleagues to be humble as they take the peace message to the interior parts of Mezam. In the Donga Mantung division, the divisional coordinator of the sensitization caravan, Ngalajera, took the message even further into villages within Donga Mantung division. In the Nkambe Central subdivision, the caravan moved from Tabiken through Binka, Binjeng and B villages, meeting with a cross-section of the population, Achaba Union, taxi drivers, traders, traditional authorities, teachers, students and heads of professional institutions in Kambe. At each stop, the curious population was enlightened on the recommendations of the major national dialogue and urged to remain patient for a subsequent implementation. The Donga Mantung divisional caravan also used the opportunity to call on armed separatists to drop their weapons and reintegrate normal life. Speaking to vigilant group members, the caravan expressed her appreciation for their contribution in maintaining peace in their respective areas and also called on other communities within the division to constitute vigilant groups. The caravan members and leader said the Ngwaron Secret Society and others within Donga Mantung have been instrumental in the protection and maintenance of peace and expressed gratitude. Members of the caravan in the Northwest region received the go-ahead from the Prime Minister on Sunday, November 17, 2019, but their presence on the field is only felt within Donga Mantung division and parts of Mezam division.
The heads of states of the Central African Economic and Monetary Community, CEMAC, are already in the nation's political capital, Yaoundé. There are already 3 of them who have arrived this far ahead of tomorrow's summit of heads of state of the CEMAC zone, convened by the current president of the zone of that economic bloc, President Paul Biya of Cameroon. Chadian President Idriss Déby Itno was the first to arrive, followed by Faustin Archange Touadéra of the Central African Republic and President Denis Sassou Nguesso of the Republic of Congo is already in Yaoundé. They all arrived through the Yaoundé-Simaleng International Airport and were all received by Prime Minister and Head of Government Chief Dr. Joseph Jangote. Gabonese President Ali Bongo will be received or will be represented by the country's Prime Minister Julien Nkoge, who has equally arrived at the nation's political capital, Yaoundé, ahead of that summit that will take place tomorrow in Yaoundé, and the heads of states are going to be discussing economic, security, and of course other political issues affecting countries of the sub-region. And this is where we end this edition of the news on Equinox Television. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for staying with us.